If you've been doing your research on how to qualify for Medicaid's long-term care benefit, or if you've spoken to an elder law attorney, you will have undoubtedly come across the term Miller Trust. This is also known as a qualified income trust. It's also known as a D4B trust. But Miller Trust, qualified income trust, D4B trust, these are all different names for the same exact thing. So what is a Miller Trust? Well, you have to understand that Florida is what's known as an income cap state. If you're applying for Medicaid's ICP or long-term care benefits and you earn more than $2,199 a month, you do not pass the income test. Well, what the Florida legislature has decided to do, they recognize that there are plenty of people who earn more than $2,199, and yet not all those people ought to be denied Medicaid. And so what they make you do is create this Miller Trust and filter your income through it. Anything above $2,199 has to pass through this Miller Trust or qualified income trust, and then the state of Florida says you can then qualify for Medicaid, assuming you meet you comply with the asset test standards as well. So how does this work in practicality? If you take all sources of income, this could be income from your 401k or an annuity or your pension, your Social Security check, all these forms of income together, they have to be added up together. And if they add up to more than $2,199, you then are required to have a qualified income trust in order to qualify for Medicaid. So you'd go to your elder law attorney, they would draft a qualified income trust for you. You would then take that document and bring it to a bank, and you would open up a Miller Trust account in the name of, it basically would say qualified income trust for whatever your name is. You would then want to take the accounts where your other income is deposited into, and you'd want to transfer, in the same month you receive that income, you would want to transfer it into the Miller Trust. Technically, you only need to transfer anything above $2,199, but I always recommend you transfer nearly all of your income into it because A, it doesn't matter whether the income's coming from an outside source or whether it's coming from a Miller Trust account. Almost all of it is going to go towards the nursing home or towards your cost of care anyway. So the trustee for the Miller Trust can be anyone but the Medicaid recipient, and what they would do is every month as the income is transferred into the qualified income trust account, the trustee would be able to deduct the personal needs allowance. They'd then be able to deduct certain other allowed expenses, for example, paying for Medicare premiums, and there are certain other expenses that are allowed to be taken out of the Miller Trust account, and then the rest would very likely go towards the patient's cost of care. If they're in a nursing home, it would go directly to the nursing home. You want to be very careful because you don't want to let income outside of this account accrue because that could cause disqualification. So it's very important you review how all this works with an elder law attorney or a Medicaid planning attorney. And the only drawback to a qualified income trust is when the Medicaid recipient passes away, there must be a provision in the Miller Trust account document that says any amount of money remaining in that trust must go towards Medicaid estate recovery, meaning Medicaid gets paid back up to the amount of money that Medicaid themselves spent. This typically isn't a problem because it's not like money just continues to accrue. Typically, almost all of the money in a qualified income trust account is leaving the account the same month or the next month because it's going towards, again, the personal needs, it's going towards these other allowed costs, and then finally the patient's cost of care or patient responsibility. So I know it can be a little confusing, but that's why we're here. So if you need any assistance, if you have any other questions about Miller Trusts or qualified income trusts, we're certainly here to help.